Hello everybody, welcome back to the range. Tom here, and today we're going to be doing either a mashup or we're going to be doing two vehicles. You're going to have to stay tuned to the video to find out exactly what I'm doing. The 69 Charger and this 57 Dodge Swepside. So, why don't we go ahead and let's get started. As you guys know, I'm a pretty big Dodge Charger fan, especially the 68, 69, and 70s model. I've always liked this casting, the 69 Charger 500, one of my favorite castings. This truck I had just laying around. I couldn't tell you how long I've had this truck, the 57 Swepside. I thought the back end kind of looked pretty cool. Honestly, matchboxes are just a tad bit smaller than Hot Wheels. So, yeah, that's what the Swepside is a matchbox. And I'm doing something with it, along with the 69 Charger. See, luckily enough, I went and bought a new drill. Got new drill bits and stuff like that, so it's going to help me break them apart a lot easier. The only thing I forgot to think about was the 69 Charger. I was about ready to drill the post out, as you see here, when I realized that I'd already done that, so I just had to take the screws out. The first screw I had was kind of a little stripped out, so I kind of had to modify, or kind of pry it apart a bit. But I didn't break nothing. I didn't damage anything. And, with me and the Dodge Chargers, preferably the older model Dodge Charger, anything before 71, I should say, and anything after 66. Those are like my favorite style Dodge Chargers. And, I'm kind of combining them now. You see what I'm doing. I'm going to be doing a mashup build. And I went through a lot of different trucks to figure out ones that would work. And at first, it looked like it was going to work. And don't worry, it worked. It just wasn't to what I was hoping it was going to look like at the end. But I got it modified and I got it mashed up pretty decently. And, people see the El Caminos and the Rancheros. And I don't think they've ever come up with a Dodge version of those vehicles. And the thing is, I wanted to kind of see what a Charger would look like as a pickup truck. And I was going to do this for Outlaw Speed Shop's international build of trucks, but, I decided not to do that. And I just decided to do it as just to see if I could do it and what it would look like. I had a lot of fun doing this. It took me a little bit because, like I said, I had to wait on tools and stuff like that. Unfortunately, airbrushing didn't go so well because I had a little incident with my compressor. It stopped working. I ain't going to go into details of that because it was my fault. But I ended up ordering a new air compressor, new airbrush. Air compressor should be in probably sometime the end of this week or the beginning of next week. So I'll be able to get back in airbrushing. Hopefully everything works out well. I got a lot of new tires in, and I'll show those probably on my new video, or my next video, I should say. I'll show a couple of 3D parts I got from Second Chance Redlines, some of the decals I got from Second Chance Redlines. But I want to wait until I get my air compressor before I start worrying about decals. And unfortunately, a lot of my decals I had, like I said before in my first video, ended up coming up missing, thrown away, or whatever. I don't know exactly what happened to them. So I got to pretty much order all new decals. And I'm looking for some new logo decals. If somebody knows anybody that can hook me up with some ideas and stuff like that, because I want to get some different kind of universal style decals for Caliber 50 Customs. I got some ideas of what I want to do. If somebody can contact me on my Instagram, or if they got me on Facebook, hit me up on Facebook, and I'll try to figure out a way to get them paid for, whatever. But I'm trying to get some pretty much all new decals set up and new situations set up. And eventually, once I get everything I need, like a new computer, a new, setup like that, I'm going to start doing 3D printed parts. But I'm pretty much not going to be talking much about the video because you can see what I'm doing. And what I'm doing here is I had to take a piece of styrene to kind of fill in the gap that was between the bed portion and the, I guess, with it being a truck, the cab portion now. And because it was just a little bit of a gap that kind of didn't fit. So I had to kind of modify some stuff and cut it up and, get that situated. But it ended up turning out to be the best thing I did in the long run. Because it worked well, with the styrene. And eventually I'm going to get back into my styrene. I got to get more styrene. I'm pretty much almost out of styrene sheets. So I got to get new styrene next time I go to Hobby Lobby or something like that. But being the first car built back, I'm 50-50 on my perspective of this vehicle. In a way I like it, but in a way I don't. I wish there were some things I could change about it, and then there's other things, the kind of second-guessing portion that most people come up with. But all in all, I think it turned out, it came together pretty nice. It was kind of something I didn't expect to see when it came to a Dodge Charger mashup with a pickup truck. But like I said, it's kind of almost looks like a version. I don't know if you guys seen some of the 2016 pictures of an El Camino. They could have just been, I don't know what kind of pictures, but they look like one of the newer Camaros mixed in with a pickup. And if you look 2016 El Camino, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Don't get me wrong, I love El Caminos. They're one of my favorite kind of vehicles. And, but, I just wanted to kind of see if there was a Dodge version of the El Camino or the Ranchero, what would it look like? And, yeah, I mixed a 57 pickup back end with a 69 Charger front end. But, I tried to find the same year, and I couldn't find a bed of a 69 pickup or something, anything like that. So I just kind of had to go with what I thought was going to work out. Yeah, it kind of almost looks like a step-side kind of pickup with the way the bed is kind of brought in from the back of the cab. And, I'm kind of sanding down the sides of the styrene just to kind of get it to form fit with the front end of with the Charger portion of it. Excuse me. But, I wanted to make it look decent. I wanted to make it look like it flowed together. And once it got painted, it actually looked pretty decent. It kind of looked uneven in some spots. But everything matched up. It really did. And it kind of looked like it flowed together. Even the paint job I kind of did. Unfortunately, I didn't airbrush the paint. I had to go and get some spray paint until I get my new compressor. And honestly, the colors I picked, I liked the colors of it. I thought they looked really nice. And, I wanted it to kind of flow together. The hardest part was trying to find wheels that would fit with this, that would work with it, that would, roll with, because I didn't want to do any really modifications to the bed portion of it or wallow out the wheel wells, because I had to get a new Dremel tool, which I got a new Dremel tool now, so I can start doing that kind of thing. Like I said, I had to get a whole bunch of new stuff before I could actually do any real modifications to it. I'm trying to get back into the hobby. I'm trying to, come up with ideas. I got a bunch of castings, new ones that I just got recently, and I'm wanting to kind of go through and see what I can do. I'm not for sure what my next video is going to be, but what I need to start doing is I need to start making a list of what videos and what I'm going to do to them, so I already have an idea of what I'm going to do in the videos, so you guys can see what I'm going for. I know a lot of people's been asking me, when am I going to do part 2 of the diorama build? It's coming eventually. I'm just kind of stuck in a spot where I don't know exactly what I'm going to do yet, but I'm working on it. I'm working on what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do it, and that kind of thing. And I know the lighting in some of the video is kind of not really, the best, but, I'm working on trying to get some better lighting for my little shop area. At first, I didn't know if I wanted to do a engine sticking out of the front end, because I knew I'd have to do a lot of sanding and a lot of filing and a lot of cutting. So at first, I just kind of had to do some measurements and see what I wanted to do with it. And you can see here the tape's taped off. I had to get the right size, the right width, the right length of everything that I'm gonna do. So, once I got it done and got it all filed down and got it to where I wanted it to be, it started looking cool. And like I said before, I didn't want to put any, I didn't want to modify the bed any, because I liked how the inside of the bed went in together, and you'll see what I'm talking about here in a little bit. I wanted it to kind of flow together, kind of mash up together, and, just kind of blend. And it blended great. It really did. It's just the tires I took off were some Greenlight Hollywood, I think, edition tires. That I ended up picking that kind of I thought looked nice. They weren't like big slick, but they did end up working out. And I thought about using some M2 style tires, but they just, I don't know, they just wasn't looking for what I had in mind. But eventually I found some pretty decent ones that I thought looked good. But, the good thing about the tires is I can always change them out later if I choose to pick something a little bit different. I ended up getting some more wheels in the mail from the Greenlight side. And, if I end up getting a Greenlight car, at least I have wheels that'll go with it. And, I got a couple Greenlight vehicles just laying around. I might end up doing one of those in my next video. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do yet, but it's going to show up eventually. And I'm not, like I said, I'm kind of coming back into the swing of things, so I'm kind of still, I guess, iffy about what all I'm going to do, where I'm going with. But, I got a lot of stuff that's going on right now, so I'm trying to do what I can to keep my mind busy. And having this truck, I'm just going to call it a truck now because it's got a bed on it, but, making it to where it looks like a hot rod, but it doesn't have, big drag style wheels on it, which I got a bunch of wheels coming from Sam Ed Wheels. Eventually, it's supposed to probably be here within the week or so. I got some other wheels coming from Ally Express. I got some of those rims that I had before that I got tires for. I'm going to end up making a lowrider sometime in the future. Just don't know what I'm going to use for it yet. I need to get some more decals and stuff like that. But eventually I'll figure it out. I got a lot of stuff coming in the mail. Been getting a lot of stuff showing up. So slowly everything's building up and everything's coming together to where I can get my whole hobby shop set back up. I might eventually get a toolbox so I can get all my hobby stuff put in it, so everything's not cluttering my desk pretty much. But eventually I'll get everything taken care of. So why don't we go ahead and check out what we started off with. We had this 1969 Dodge Charger 500 mixed up with the 1957 Dodge Swepside. Two totally different years, but both good castings. One's Matchbox, one's Hot Wheels. Not the first time I've done that kind of matchup. Won't be the last. So without further ado, why don't we go ahead and check out the final results.
I'm taking it up higher. I'm taking it up higher. I'm taking it up a mountain. It's time to jump. My eyes got flickering flames. Up to the sky, make it rain. Breaking the frames, breaking the chains. Ain't nobody holding the reins. Turning it on, trigger the bomb. I got the world in my palm. Staying calm in the storm. Where I was born, I call it home. I'm hitting the hardest. hitting the target.